Welcome to Crossfire, production of Department of Government Information. Today we're going to discuss about the field of agriculture and the development in the field of agriculture. And to talk about this subject, we have with us Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. KALEENA Sidhuweem, and at the same time the Director General of Agriculture, Mr. Kamal Mankote. Welcome, gentlemen. Now, you have launched a new national program called Domestic Economic Units, targeting 1 million economic units. What is this program all about, and what is your mission from this program?
Yeah, actually, as we all know, Sri Lanka is an agricultural country. We can't forget when we are preparing or when we are developing an agriculture development program, so we can't forget that sector. So that is why His Excellency the President gave the top priority for agriculture development in this country. So this is one of the programs. So there are so many programs for example, Gama Naguma, Maga Naguma, things like that. Like that, this is another program which will be implemented in rural as well as other urban areas. This is called Divi Naguma. This is a very common and very common term for all.
Yeah.
So under this program, we are targeting to establish about 1 million, more than 1 million home gardens. Home garden plus some basic economic units in rural places as well as other places. So that is our program. Our main aim is to provide the domestic requirement of agricultural products. For example, we say vegetables.
Yeah.
So there are people who go to the market to buy day-to-day essentials. Like karapinchaw, things like that.
Yeah.
But it can be grown and it can be produced in their home gardens. So this is the main objective is to produce the day-to-day needs of people from their home gardens, right? That's number one. Number two, same time we are targeting to establish some economic units. For example, if one person needs to establish a nursery to get some additional income.
Yeah.
So we have included that part too. So that is why this program contains three subunits. That is agriculture, then livestock and poultry, the livestock and fisheries, then small scale industries. Those three items we are implementing program under these three subcategories.
Yeah. Earlier you had a development project called Apivavamu Ratanagamu, once again towards the development of the agricultural field. Is there a difference between this program, the Divinagamu program, and Apivavamu Ratanagamu program, or is it the same?
Not really, actually, because it was implemented from year 2007 to 2010.
All right.
So this is a continuation of, I should say, it's a continuation of that program, because they are also we look at the national level. So we want to increase the paddy production, vegetable production, and other field crops production in the country, within the country, because normally we were importing large amount of essential food items to the country.
Yeah.
So we want to reduce that. So that was the main target of that program. Here, the same, actually I should say same, because normally the people do not consider their home gardens.
Yeah.
While they are engaging agricultural program as commercial units, but they are not considering the importance of home garden. So that is why we have included, we are targeting this home garden and economic units under this program in future.
Right,
Not
okay.
future, maybe this will be started very soon, and we will go for another few years.
Right, okay.
Right.
The Director General would like to know now this domestic economic units, how do you going to establish this, and how are you going to implement this at the ground level, and do you have any specific objectives from this program?
No, actually, at the village level, these units will be identified by few categories of officers. Agriculture Research and Development Assistance belongs to the Agri and Development Department, then Samurdhi officers, then Grama Niladharis, and village level health workers,
Right.
known as Paul Saukya Sevikas. Then all these people, they work at the village level. They are the best people to identify the potential beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Then they are supposed to develop and suggest to the beneficiaries how they should develop their homesteads. That will be mapped.
Right.
And the technical advice will be given by the agriculture instructors. Then that is at the development of home gardens. But when it comes to the identification of economic units may be not confined to agriculture alone, but economic units can be of various disciplines. Like one family might want to embark on a animal husbandry project.
Yeah.
One might want to do something on handicrafts or something. Whereas few people might want to go ahead with agricultural things.
Yeah.
All agricultural things will be supported by the agriculture instructors.
And other thing is that now when you are implementing this program, are you giving any subsidy or the fertilizer subsidies or any other known benefits to the home economic units? So how are you going to encourage this?
Actually, they will be very closely monitored, and I think government has a plan to support maybe at the rate of 10,000 rupees.
10,000 rupees and for a family.
For a
Right.
family
That is,
to develop the economic unit.
that basically that is to establish their home gardens and basic units.
Right.
So we will be giving them free advice, fertilizer which is required for this small scale, maybe maximum maybe for 2 purchase. Right. And seed materials, all inputs will be given free of charge.
So it will be fully supported by the government.
That's right. Government
That is
will
only for
bear
the
cost.
home garden.
Home gardens.
Right, okay.
Right. So if they need further assistance, they can get loans or things like that.
Right, okay.
Right. We will arrange that too.
Right. DJ, and at the same time, would like to know now, yes, of course, there wouldn't be any problems in implementing this kind of program in the rural level, but when it comes to the urban level, like Colombo and suburbans, we face the problems of such as the areas of cultivation and at the same time our busy schedule of life. How are you going to manage this kind of problems and issues?
There's no difficulty at all because we have already established a concept called urban home gardens.
Right.
Or, in other words, they sometimes some people call it edible landscaping.
Right.
So that kind of concept can be introduced into the urban sector.
Right.
So people need not have any area, any area to cultivate in the soil. They can they can grow whatever they want or many crops in bags or in other pots or whatever.
Right.
But of course there are limitations because they are not free to do it as it is happening in the village.
Yeah.
But of course they can support themselves substantially by growing basic essentials in whatever the place they can do.
Yeah, if there is a will, there is a way. Right?
Definitely.
Mr. Karunathilake would like to know now some parties in the opposition, and they have been coming out with a lot of criticism and allegations against most of the government campaigns. For an example, Apiwamu Ratanagamu program, though that campaign was there from 2008 to 2010, but still we faced high prices of vegetables and fruits. How do you respond to those kind of allegations?
Yeah, those are common things, right?
Right.
So
you mean the price hikes?
No. I mean this type of talks.
Right. Okay.
Right. No, actually, we know that agriculture is totally depend on climate and
the weather conditions.
The weather conditions. We can't avoid that one. So we can avoid up to some extent, right? So we had very bad weather condition during last 2 months time, right? So we had to face for that, no. So as government organizations, we have to develop some alternatives, or we have to find some alternative solution for these things. The government is in position to do that.
Yeah.
So, for example, I should say, due to this bad weather condition, we lost about 157,000 hectares of paddy alone, right? And 44,000 other field crops, and about 10,000 of vegetables. So that was a very bad situation for the country.
Yeah.
So normally the vegetable is grown, throughout the season, throughout the year. So it's grown November, December, January, February. Due to this bad weather condition, we could not cultivate the extent which were planned to cultivate during January, things like right? So because of that reason, we had about 30,000 hectares of vegetables. Normally we cultivate about 50,000 hectares during Maha. So and another thing is, though we cultivated 30,000, due to bad weather, there's some of the crops were damaged.
Yeah.
So then the supply was not up to the expected level.
So don't you have a mechanism to predict something in advance?
So actually we have, because the Sri Lanka has developed up to some extent.
Yeah.
So we do have some mechanism and we do have some technologies we are implementing and we are programming to overcome up to some extent. I can't say that 100% we can avoid those things, but up to some extent. So we have implemented few programs. So the emergency vegetable cultivation, things like that. So many programs we have implemented.
DG, would like to know, when are you going to implement this program? Is it in the near future, or what's the time scale?
Oh, immediately. I think with the onset of definitely next rains, that is with the onset of Yala, we'll be launching the home garden program, especially in the wet areas, but not in the dry areas. But this will be implemented in full scale during Maha. That is the time that we get rains island, right?
Okay.
And I think in 1 or 2 days' time, there will be a
launching ceremony.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Inauguration program.
Okay, thank you very much. Today we had with us Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. K.E. Karunatilaka, and Director General of Agriculture, Mr. Kamal Mankote, sharing their thoughts and views with us, especially in regards of this domestic economic units, establishing 1 million economic units, the national program. But thank you very much once again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And with that, we conclude this edition of Crossfire, a production of Department of Government Information. And do join us once again next time as well for this kind of informative program.